Welcome back to SoK versus Happy, the best human player in the world right now against the best undead player in the world right now. SoK against Happy. In a spectacular fashion, in a base trade situation, SoK was able to use Mountain King first and a bunch of Dragon Hawks with a lot of Zeppelin attacks and Sapper attacks to clinch the first map victory against Happy in this best of 5 in the W3 Champions Season Finals tournament during the quarterfinal elimination battle. It's a best of 5. The first map has gone to SoK, and for the second map, Happy has chosen to go into Amazonia. Additionally, we have been able to find, with the help of our friend of the stream, Chuddy, we've been able to find the clean feed so that we actually have audio now. That's nice. We have audio of the game without trying to talk through the commentary of the other great casters that previously casted this match. So we're able to see this. It didn't come with webcam, but with some cool tech, I was able to take the webcam from the muted stream and then superimpose them onto this clean feed audio stream. So everything is ready. Let's jump into it. SoK once again goes with Mountain King first and uses the footy AI manipulation trick where you pull the rock golem camp away and then on the return, before they get home, before they resume their original location, you engage them in combat, which means mud golems won't cast slow, rock golems won't throw boulders, troll trappers won't throw and snare, and Mozart would not remember his music. He gets the rock golem, no spells were casted, it's still a tough as hell camp. So Lich comes in immediately here, and he takes down a lot of health on the Mountain King, and there's still another Nova, so once the Mountain King is like 200 health, I think he's in kill range. Because how much damage is it? Like 125 main target, and then 50 on... Yeah, I think Mountain King is dead. Oh, he picked up Greater Healing Potion. He's fine. What am I saying? Okay, can he get the long distance surround? I rate this surround 9 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, and he does not get it. Does not get the surround. You can do max range Stormbolt surrounds, but his units came from a little bit farther, and therefore he was unable to. Found himself unable to. One unit got rallied into the rest of the creeps. You have 2 footies here, so he cannot do a surround on the Lich. Happy wants to buy as much time as possible. And in a show of complete disregard for the risk of getting surrounded, he had sold his town portal. And he came over with a sacrificial dagger, which is a new reforged item, so that he could do some emergency healing on his Lich and units if it became necessary. And then he bought a circlet, which has roughly the same cost as the TP gives when you sell it. So he just wants more stats. He's very all in on that. Trying to be confident that he's not going to get surrounded. Nice, sending the militia home so he doesn't die. He did split off his Mountain King from the rest of his units. Did you see that? That was pretty cool. Can he get the surround on the Lich? No, I don't think so. Oh no, I don't think so. Like, yeah, okay, he got it, but it was as weak as the weakest link. Got some good damage on the Lich though. Finishes the creeps, gets his level up, goes for clap. And while I think 90% of players would thunderclap the ghouls, simply because he had maximum surface area, he was touching all the ghouls, I think most people are going to clap there. But SoK doesn't, and I'm very glad that he doesn't, because there's no point to get a value clap damage on all the ghouls if you're not going to finish them off anyway. They don't have automatic regeneration, butcher speed, so he can stay away from the ghouls and create some extra distance. So while in a way the clap would leave those ghouls permanently damaged so long as they're out on the field, it still doesn't achieve anything. It doesn't immediately drop their threat ratio, their damage. Happy could still cycle them home. He could still heal them with Ritual Dagger. So he's preserving his mana. It's an important trait. This time does have the boots. Allows him to hunt down ghouls and Lich better than before. And the expansion is very delayed. Sometimes it's tough to remember exactly how well you're doing. But I'll remind you guys, in game 1, SoK was going to tier 2 after completely having an expansion at minute 7. Now, he hasn't even started this expansion yet, let alone going to tier 2. His lumber mill is done though. That was a minute 8 inclusion, I believe, last game. So he can do guard towers earlier. A lot of hero focus. It seems like Happy has learned that taking down footman after footman is quite unsatisfying. Peasants and footmen are gonna keep getting made. But it's the Mountain King's health that allows him to bully the undead. So pretty much every Nova went to Mountain King. And pretty much every Stormbolt went to Lich. I learned from this as well. You know, Nova is an AoE spell, so you think like, hey, you know, I can hit all the footies. Like, no, man, it's really, really important to focus on the main goal of dealing with your threat levels. So it seems that SoK has accurately assessed that there's going to be gargoyle tech this time. Happy went for a double crypt. That's why he's willing to spend so much to delay so much. Because he's going for a checkmate victory. If he has enough gargoyles to take down the initial towers, he can make sure this expansion never comes up. Because the mercenary camp is very well defended on this map. So it's not easy for SoK to get troll berserkers from the mercenary camp. That's why it was so good by SoK that he got such an early lumber mill and made sure he led with the guard tower, then expanded. And that guard tower is also in a position where it's exactly adjacent to the town hall. There is an angle where Gargs can attack the town hall from above without getting fired by the guard tower. But that angle is not relevant because the town hall won't die to that. It's about as close as possibly can be to defend against everything. And now I'm thinking, I don't think Happy is breaking this. I've played this matchup from both sides quite often. Both as the Mountain King player and as the Gargoyle player. And it's very, very unforgiving. I do see that the webcam disappeared. So I guess we can get rid of that overlay. That's actually not a fault on my end. But they lost their webcam feed. Which also meant that we lost our webcam feed. So it's a live show. A live show issue. Yeah. So it still works without the webcam. I'm happy here in the middle. I feel like this matchup with this strat by Undead gets decided whether or not you get up one guard tower. If you have one tower, you keep it up. If you don't have it, it keeps getting cancelled and you'll never get it up. Because you may think like, oh, can't you just make a blacksmith and a couple of riflemen? Ends up not being able to work out that way generally. What little skeletons and ghouls they have become high damage dealers against the riflemen. One Nova makes rifles nearly immobile, and there's too many Gargs by that point to deal with them with the trickle of rifles. Plus rifles lack the mobility. Even if you had rifles that could beat the Gargs, you still would keep losing all your peasants unless you can get 1 or 2 guard towers up. Scout towers get cancelled too easily because they take a lot of damage from piercing. They're unarmored, so they take bonus damage from piercing. Guard towers are heavy, they take normal damage from piercing. So they're much easier to repair. They also have more health. Oh, he's gonna go for the scout tower! Bam! One shot. Okay. Now he just needs enough Gargs to break the main guard tower again. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think if Happy can get up to like 10, 12 Gargs, where he can bum rush this tower and take over this base, he could actually do it. Because SoK's Expo... he is making riflemen to kind of stabilize. Okay. Couple of rifles, the one tower, he's gonna get to tier 2. I think what Happy wants is to break the main base. There are fewer towers here. If you can kill that one tower, take down the rifles, then there's gonna be nothing left. SoK doesn't have enough lumber because he has no access to Goblin Shredder right now. The laboratory, first of all, hasn't been crept. Oh, he self-killed it. Very nice. No XP for the Mountain King. He goes for the second tower again. Look, it's impossible to repair. And he's bum rushing. He's bum rushing the tower. Rifle goes down to a Nova. Oh, man. Can he get the tower? It looks like no is the answer. There is no masonry upgrade yet. And SoK does have enough lumber right now. Actually, with the skeletons and ghouls. Yeah. There we go. That's checkmate, no? I think that's checkmate. There's no way that SoK can get aviaries out at this expansion and get enough hogs, which by the way are one population more than gargoyles, to ever deal with this aerially. And while flying machines in infinite numbers beat any amount of gargs, he doesn't have infinite number of flying machines. He is going to try it with flying machines, because they're fast, they can actually kind of outpace gargs. They also don't get novad, so they retain their mobility. But do you know how many flyings you need to deal with this many gargs? You've got the range advantage, but while you attack, you're static. So you pretty much can't stutter step hit. You can try to stutter step hit, but if the undead is very agile with their movement and kind of tries to mind trick you, you're gonna get like one hit every 5 seconds. And it's not enough. There's gonna be coil, eventually there'll be unholy aura. I think that's going to be the 1-1. Well, that's a prediction, but here's the game, we'll see. In the end, what does SoK have from his expansion? He's 15 pop down, now mining 1v1 base. Even if somehow he were able to kill all the gargs, where would that leave him? With a million flyings? Decently leveled heroes from the XP from the gargs. He would still need to deal with ghouls, which he also cannot deal with right now. There we go. See? They take a hit from the gargs, even though they try to stutter step. They always take a hit because their movement speed is maybe... I want to say gargs' movement speed without Unholy Aura is like 5% higher than gargs. Yeah. That's GG. Wow. Just when you think he might be able to do it. But I think he needed 2 to 3 guard towers in his main base. And he only had the 1, and the extra that he was making was on the side of the outside rather than the inside. Was there a way where he could get more towers up? Yeah. So, very clean performed double Garg strat by Happy. Soul TP, got a circlet, kept Novaing Mountain King to keep him subdued. Never killed him, but it kept him subdued. Made him lose money. Delayed Expo. Came in with first Gargs, 2, and then 4. Could do nothing at the expansion. And then he slowly started to attack random things in the main. A farm, which also gave him aerial vision over SoK's base. And he was able to keep counting how many towers there are. Thus, he could form a plan to support the air with a small ghoul and skeleton contingency. Keep growing his Garg count. Keep controlling the in and out of SoK's main, which meant that rifles could not reunite with heroes, they couldn't pull up. And then he's like, okay, I know what I need to do to break that tower. Yeah, well done. Not as exciting, but surgical and the equalizer. 1-1. GG.